Hi, welcome to Surviving Schizophrenia with Steven. My name is Steven. I hope you're having a wonderful day. I am out today, a little further from my house, at the Bluffs. I can show you that real quick too. It's a beautiful day out, and I wanted to talk a bit today while I walk about how in the past, I was very isolated. I didn't want to go outside. I didn't want to do anything but stay at my house and play video games. And as you can see now, things have definitely changed. And I'm going to talk about that on this walk. But first, the view. Yeah, okay, it's absolutely beautiful. I just had to show you that first. So, yeah, before I fell ill, I was very social and very active too. I would always be hanging out with friends or, taking part in the swim team and always doing something out, whether that was basketball or camping, right? But when I did fall ill, things drastically changed. And I remember just not wanting to do anything outside, not wanting to really go anywhere. And it wasn't even just not wanting to, but it was also feeling like I couldn't. And that was hard. I remember I had to stop going to actual school, and I started being homeschooled by my teacher, who is now actually my therapist. Funny how that worked out. And I also recall one time early on when they were trying to get me out because I was just staying home, playing video games, doing some schoolwork at times, but not a lot. It was very minimal, and it was mostly just trying to get me to do something during the day. Anyway, so I remember we drove to, I believe it was Whole Foods, and my therapist was there, and my teacher, who later became my current therapist. And I remember we went in there to go shopping, really just to get me out. And I was so stressed out. I could not handle it. I remember just not being able to do really anything there. I kind of shut down even. And I remember I had to actually go outside, out of the store, and just sit down. And my therapist got me some water and tried to calm me down. I was so stressed out, so incredibly stressed. I could hardly think straight. I wanted to curl up into a little ball and just stay there forever. That was the kind of feeling I got. Because when I was at home, right, I didn't have to interact with people. Even if I wasn't really interacting with people at the Whole Foods, I still had to be around people. And that was very hard for me. Very hard. I liked having no one else around. I only wanted to be with myself and just play games, try to forget my stresses, forget that I had schizophrenia, and just shut myself off from the world, which is not good. And that's one of the tricky things about schizophrenia, is that you can become very isolated, and you don't want to do things. Your lack of motivation is incredible, honestly. Mine was. I wasn't motivated to do anything. My life was stagnant. Yeah. And so I wasn't excited to go out into nature like I am now. I wasn't wanting to do anything. The only exception to that was some family. I always have been very close to my cousins, for example, and my aunts and my uncles on both sides of my family. And I remember always still wanting to be around my cousins and my family. That said, I was still very stressed out around them, to the point where I would be shaking at times. I'd be sweating profusely due to stress. Yeah, but I still wanted to be around them, which is very good, I think, because had I not had family and wanting to be around family, I would have been pretty much completely isolated from anyone else for years of my life, even more so than I already was. Yeah. And so, as you can see now, things have definitely changed, right? I'm out in nature, and I'm actually loving it. Like, I've been going for a lot of walks lately, just enjoying the scenery of my neighborhood, the serenity of the ocean out here, which I can show you again in a sec. Things have really changed for me, and it took a long time for that to happen. Now, this did not happen overnight. This took really the better part of a decade now, more than that, for me to actually, I guess, recover enough to want to do things out here, to want to actually do something with my life instead of just sit in the room and play video games and watch TV. And I'm really glad things have changed. Very happy about that. And I can't quite say exactly what changed per se. I guess it's probably due to this channel, which gave me more motivation to do things. And I think that's why I'm actually enjoying, for me now, new experiences like being in nature again. And I don't know, it's kind of hard for me to figure out exactly what did change, but I'm glad it did. Very glad. And I'm going to show you the view here real quick. You can see downtown LA back there. I'll show you that right now. Absolutely beautiful day. Let me show you this. I really hope you can see that out there. I can't quite tell if you can, but you can kind of see the mountains and the waves way out there. You might be able to see some of the skyscrapers all the way out. Yeah. So, yeah, it was hard for a long time, like I've been saying. Because before I actually enjoyed being out. And I guess it really changed and shows how much my personality, not personality, but me as like a person changed as well. Almost like a cloak was thrown over me, right? I was still me, but I wasn't exactly all of what I was before, if that makes sense. And it's taken a long time for that cloak to be taken off, for me to actually enjoy the things I did before again. For example, being out in nature, and being out in general, and being around other people, and actually wanting to be around other people. And I kind of attribute that mostly just to time, I guess. It took a lot of time for that to happen. But now that it finally has, feel more like me again. In an even different way too, though. A different me though, but a me that I kind of like even more. And that just makes me happy to be able to say that. Because that's not something I could have said even 2 years ago, by any means. That cloak was definitely still over me. And yeah, it just feels good to be able to say that I'm actually happy with where I'm at now in life and who I am. Yeah. So it took a long time for me to be okay being around other people again. And actually, even just something as simple in the past as I don't know, buying something. Like, I remember also earlier on, my therapist, my parents, my teacher, right? They would all be a homeschool teacher, I should say, because I wasn't going to school, actual school. They would try to get me just to pay for, not with my own money, of course, but just, pay the cashier, right? For whatever I bought, like, I don't know, some food or something. To try to get me to interact with more people. And I couldn't do it. I just couldn't. I remember at times later on, when I was a little bit better, but still quite ill, I would go with my cousin. He would come over, and we would usually spend the night, and we would go to like a restaurant, like Good Stuff. It's a local restaurant here. Very good breakfast food served all the time, or all day long. Anyway, and I remember I'd have money that my parents would give me, but I wouldn't pay. I would give it to my cousin and he would pay, because it was just too stressful for me to even do that. So, yeah, I don't know. I've come a long ways, and I'm very happy about all that, because now I can actually pay for whatever I end up buying. I don't feel stressed out being around other people like that. I can actually do things that the average person isn't stressed out about, but me with schizophrenia was. Yeah. Feels good. Also, even just in this video, seeing how much, like just talking about it makes me, it's setting in now, just how much has actually changed for the better over the years. And that's not to say I don't have days where I don't want to go out, because I definitely do. Some days I still want to stay in my room and just play video games, but those days aren't as often, and during those days I can still go do something else. It's not exclusively just sitting there and ignoring the world and trying to forget my worries. Now I can actually do more than just that in a day, and actually do something and engage in life, which again is not something I could have done even 2 years ago or 3. So yeah, I think that's all I had for that, talking about my social isolation and not wanting to leave the house. It's probably a lot more I can cover, but I just can't think of more right now. Of course, if I do, I will let you know. There's a lot in my past that it's so much, and I can't remember it all very well. But even sometimes after doing these videos, it comes back to me. Because, I don't know, my memory's been really, I guess foggy is the right word. It was an incredibly stressful time for me. Has been since 2012. And, when you're really stressed, sometimes you block out, or your mind blocks out those memories, and makes it so that I can't always remember my past, or at least very well. Even little things, like sometimes I don't remember what I ate for dinner last night, for example. Yeah, I don't remember what I ate for dinner last night. Shoot. Anyway, that might prove it there. But yeah, so I guess what I'm saying is it's hard for me to remember things, but doing this YouTube channel, making these videos, helps bring some stuff back and helps me work through it too. And yeah, I think I'm starting to ramble a bit now, so I think I'm gonna call it here for that. However, I am not done with my walk here. Probably go for a tiny bit longer. Actually, okay, yeah, I've only been going for 0.4 miles. So I'll definitely keep going on this walk. You're welcome to continue to join me as I continue. And I guess see the sights and join me on the rest of this walk. So I hope you stay. And yeah. Just gonna keep walking for a little bit longer. Not too long. But yeah. So yeah. It is an absolutely beautiful day out. I see some actually I don't see multiple, but I see one sailboat out there. It's probably a great day to go sailing. I actually took sailing lessons. I don't know what year it was, but like a year or so, 2 years or so, maybe more, I don't know, before I fell ill. And I absolutely loved it. Sailing is so much fun. I have a lot of fond memories of learning how to sail in King Harbor, which is about like 20 minutes or so from my house. Um, some bad memories too, actually. I remember at one point there was a storm and I got caught outside the jetty, so outside the harbor. I got caught out there, and this again is something that was so traumatic, kind of like a lot of my illness, that I don't really remember it very well. But I did capsize, I turtled completely, and was out in the storm, turtled. Don't remember how I got back, but evidently I just flipped my my little they're called sabots, like a little tiny sailboat from a person. Was able to flip it, bail it out with. I think we made, remember correctly, like we cut a milk carton in half, and that's what I used to scoop out the water. And I don't remember how I got back, but I did. And oh, that sounds stressful to me, and I don't remember it very well. What I do remember was, I guess it must have been like a week or so after. I'm not exactly sure when. But I was watching Pokemon, the original movie, and there's a point where there's a storm. And I was watching that. And I guess it brought back flashes of what actually happened to me from the real storm. And my heart rate went over 150, and I was freaking out. And I believe it was I think we called 911 or something like that. And the paramedics came, and I believe I went to the hospital. Yeah, this was a long time ago. And eventually I got calmed down, and they told me one thing you can do if your heart rate's like, you're really stressed out, you're freaking out, your heart rate's really high, if you bear down almost like you're using the restroom, that will lower your heart rate and help you calm down too. So yeah, aside from that, a lot of fun memories sailing. I absolutely loved it, but yeah, that was a stressful time. Alright. Let's see then. Such a beautiful day. I'm going to show you a little more right now. Absolutely beautiful. Such a beautiful day. Birds in the sky. Yeah, the ocean, I love that. Absolutely love the sound of the ocean. If you couldn't tell by now, I absolutely love the ocean as well. I love to swim with junior lifeguards. Absolutely loved it. Sailing, like I said. Whoa, it's windy. Shoot. Oh, it's even hard to hold my camera. Wow, it's really windy. I hope you can hear me well. It's actually moving me over a bit. Alright. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you have a happy and healthy rest of your day. I hope to see you in the next video. Bye.